Hey, YouTube. That timing was really terrible, wasn't it? Okay, so today is the 22nd of June, 2011. So hairy, I really need to trim that. It's 10 past 3 in the afternoon, and I've just done my tee shot, and it took me around 20 minutes to actually do it. The reason for that is one of the needles that the needle exchange gave me was blunted. I mean, it usually takes me around 10 minutes, at least, to do a shot. But yeah, the needle exchange gave me a blunt needle. So, yeah, I tried to put it in my skin and it was excruciating, so I had to take it out and put another needle on the end of the syringe. And then I was all panicked about that, so I didn't check to see if I'd gone into a vein, which it would appear that, that I haven't. I mean, I'm not in any kind of pain. It doesn't feel like I've gone into a needle. I'd know if I went into a needle, into a vein, even. So yeah, very stressful shot, that one. But on the plus side, I have worked out how to open these. The person that told me how to do it told me wrong. They said, oh, break it towards the black thing, but no, you don't. You break it away from the black thing. So yeah, I've worked out how to do that now. What else? Okay, so yeah, so that's all for my shot. As far as changes goes, I'm just gonna reel those off because it's 6 weeks. It's one of those milestones. I'm watching Wimbledon in the background. Okay, so 6 weeks on tee. Not so much today, but like last week, I was squeaking a lot. I'm getting a lot more spots now to the point where you can actually see them on the camera. What the fuck is all that about? Like, nah. Anyway, oh yeah, squeaking. I've been wanting to sleep a lot. I'm still getting some pretty bad headaches, but I think they're just going to be something that I have to accept as part of tea. I've got like a light dusting of hair spreading everywhere, and it's dark hair. I mean, it's not particularly thick, but it's dark. I mean, it's spread like on my arms. I used to have hair just like in a strip there, and it's growing around my arm. It's growing up my arm. Hair on my belly is just going everywhere. I can bet by 9 weeks I'm gonna be furry down there. So yeah, there's that. And then as I was like squeaking a lot, my voice stopped squeaking and it dropped a little bit again. Yeah, I'm getting. You can't see a thing. But yeah, I'm getting like a little bit of mustache going on, and ever continuing lengthening of this bit is going on. I really do need to shave it. And then the downstairs area has continued to grow, and it's now about, I'd say, around 3 times the size that it was pre-T, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Okay, so that's like physical changes, like aesthetic, like what I look like, and like I feel like not so much getting bulkier, but my arms are still getting harder. Like all my body's getting denser. And my fat's kind of starting to move around a little as well, like most of it's going to my belly. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I want to talk about the other benefits that tea is giving me. I went on a weekend away with Morph, like I did last year, and this time we did something a little different. We did like survival adventure activity on the Sunday, and we walked a long way, and we were running and we were building and we were doing all of these things, and you know, that's just something. One of the things I've noticed has got so much easier for me is running and throwing myself at things, and like really getting into stuff is so much easier. Like, yeah, I still have trouble breathing. That's to do with binding and like the fact that my lungs are constantly clogged up. But running for me now is easy. Like, I used to get out of breath within 100 meters, and now I don't. I can lift more. I can do more. I can help out around the house more. I can, you know, if my mum's having trouble lifting something, I can lift it. You know, I'm being able to do all the things that I always wanted to do, like, because I'm just getting stronger. Yeah, just getting a lot stronger is something that I didn't expect to happen. I didn't even think of it happening, and it is happening, which is really cool. Yeah, I like the getting stronger aspect of things. Um, so yeah, what comes with getting stronger is that you know, I've always been quite an active person, or at least I was pre-transition. I'd spend a lot of time walking and like exploring nature and going up in forests and like taking a little packed lunch and a survival kit and wandering off into the wilderness for a good few hours a day. And I've stopped doing that completely when I transitioned. And I think part of the reason for that is because I was always out of breath and I was never strong enough to actually be able to do the things that I used to want to do. That, and you know, for a girl, I was pretty tough. I was pretty, you know, I had pretty good endurance. I could, you know, walk for miles and miles and miles and I'd be fine. You know, I was a lot stronger than a lot of the girls that were also doing that at the time. But then when I transitioned, I was like not up to standard, or in my mind, I felt like, well, I'm a man, I should be able to do more. Um, so I felt like even though I was doing these things, it wasn't as much as I should be able to do. Like with working out, I felt like I wasn't able to do as much as I should be able to do. Whereas now I do, so you know, I can do these things. So you know, yesterday was summer solstice. Happy solstice, everyone! And I spent about 4 hours in like a park, but it's not so much a park. It's got like some woods and it's got like a lake and it's got a gorge and like a little riverine, and you know it's like 7 miles to walk around it twice or something, you know. And I walked a long way and I did a lot of cool stuff. Like we built these shelters when we were on the weekend, where like you get a tree that's like that, and then you build like a little hut thing, and then you put a lot of moss over it. Well, I was just sort of wandering through, and it was really sunny, and I was like la 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 with my stick, and I saw one, and I was like, oh, that's funny, and I had a look inside it, and I was like, oh, they built that quite well. And then I wandered off, and about 20 minutes later, it started absolutely pouring it down with rain, so I legged it back to the shelter and just sat in the shelter with my sandwich, my poached salmon sandwich, just chilling out, dry, out of the rain, and I could hear people running past me, like, screaming, we need to go back to the shelter and stuff, and, you know, I wasn't going to tell anyone that that thing was there, because they just couldn't see it, which was hilarious. So, yeah. The sobriety thing is going well. I feel as though I've lost a lot of, I don't want to call it personality, but a lot of the stuff I used to talk to people about was going wild on nights out, and I didn't realise that I did that so much before. So I feel like I'm getting to a blank canvas where I can find my interests again, and one of those interests is the outdoors and nature and you know, picking like herbs and stuff and making stuff out of them, like making tea or you know, adding them to a dish. I'm interested, you know, I enjoy cooking. I'm not very good at it, but that's because I didn't put the time and effort into it. I like baking. I like, I like art. I like spending time around other people. I like being in a community. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff that I know that I like, but I just can't remember what they are. And I feel like I'm a blank canvas, and I'm rediscovering myself in a lot of ways all over again. Because when I go out, I'm not going to be going out and just drinking and talking shit. I'm going to be going out and I'm going to have a clear head so I can think about what I say and what I talk about, and the things I do talk about. I need to find what I want to talk about. I need to find what actually interests me, because, oh mate, I love you, man. Ain't going to cut it anymore, because that's not me now. I don't think I ever was, but yeah. There's a whole bunch of stuff like that that's really changing my perspective on the world and on myself. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. So all things are going well, and I'll get in touch again at some point in the future. Peace.